Hello everyone. It's been about 3 days since I decided to quit smoking, and I'm still doing it. I haven't had one cigarette, one puff of cigarette or nicotine since I started this project, so going strong. Definitely feeling stronger withdrawal symptoms today. And I noticed that I get maybe annoyed or irritable around the same things, but the experience has changed quite a bit. Like in the past, something might annoy me, like even say an easy example like my phone. Sometimes everyone does this when their phone's going slower than it usually is and freezing up and they need to send an important message. People get ticked off and yell at their phone, or at least get annoyed. Now, before quitting smoking, I would feel that tension in my chest a little bit and kind of had those annoyed thoughts. Whereas now, the same things seem to trigger me. Like earlier, I was uploading these videos, and I was typing on the computer, and for some reason the computer was going slow, and like 2 letters were being typed out every 30 seconds. And I noticed that I'd feel irritable about this, but instead of just feeling in my chest a little bit, it was like the emotion was in my chest but intensified, and I felt anxiety through my arms and my my legs, and I felt a lot more of a physical emotion, whereas before it would just kind of be trapped in my chest and I get annoyed and then suppress it. Now it's more of a physical feeling, where like I might feel like I want to punch something and I feel really restless, sort of like, have you ever had restless leg syndrome? It's like having a lot of anxiety in your legs and you just need to move them. That's kind of what I've been feeling, more of a restless feeling, this feeling of this emotional, I need to move around, I hate sitting here. That doesn't help with the job I have right now, working at a call center. Anyway, I actually wrote down a crap load of stuff that I was going to talk about today, but instead I decided to talk about my experience with my my cravings and my withdrawal symptoms so far. So I'll leave what I had to say on here for another time, because there's a lot of material. I actually talk about, in this I talk about a challenging component of quitting smoking is the social aspect, and your thoughts around other people, and how smoking is social bonding. And I even related a little bit about science and evolutionary psychology. I really like evolutionary psychology, or learning about evolution, and I like relating that to experiences that we're having right now. Like, one of the reasons I really like studying evolution and reading about evolution is that it helps me at least understand people better, and where people came from, and where I came from, and why people do what they do. So I feel like by learning that stuff, I have a better understanding of why we do what we do, what people do as humans, like what is consistent behaviors and fears and thoughts that a lot of people seem to have, and how have people gotten over those challenges in the past. So I'll talk about that more in my next video. Actually, in my last video, I talked about commitment, and I said I wanted to start my day off a lot different, because usually what I do is say I'm going to get up the next day and then take 3 hours before I actually get up, and then I kind of beat myself up and feel guilty about getting up too late. And so I want to completely change that behavior and change that habit, but I find that difficult. It's one of the hardest challenges I've ever had. And I even said in my last video that in this video I was going to show you me getting up early in the morning and sticking with that commitment, and I actually didn't do it last night. I didn't stay with that commitment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare for my day tomorrow, and actually get like my clothes ready for tomorrow to make sure that my transition in the morning is a lot easier. So instead of getting up and trying to get my clothes all organized, I have that all ready, so all I have to worry about when I get up in the morning is something simple. And look at all these lights. That's crazy. It looks cool. Anyway, so my next video, I'll show you tonight my stuff all packed and getting ready for that commitment. Anyway, hope you got something out of that. Peace.